Are we still here? Hot damn, you guys. Well, listen. One story leads to another story. One question leads into another question. Well, my friend Sable. Listen, I'm just gonna come around and tell you I love the hell out of you. All right, and not to be disrespectful, mean you any harm whatsoever. Remember, I said I'm not going to kick you off or do this or do that, and you can be my nemesis, and I could be yours. We're playing God, you and I, and it's a cool contrast to to these teachings and things like that. And basically, one of the questions that you brought up perfectly was this idea that if it only happens one time, if we were to get the Kundalini system to come to life, all it takes is one time, and everything's cool. After that, how do I know that I haven't been doing, or how does someone tell if anyone has crossed this line? And so the way you know this goes on is the shattering of the legs. When Jesus goes up and he has his two witnesses go up with him just a little after, Jesus dies first on the cross, and his two witnesses die later. And to make sure that they die, because they don't want this to works to go on into the Sabbath. They want to, because they've got something planned, is that they had their legs beat. And so, we're all going up in threes. The wrath is poured out on a third. That's all of us going in third. And that's the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. The thing is that Holy Ghost business is actually when we are in the right brain, and when we're in our left brains, we have an extension coming out of the left side of our brain which is going to compete with God as the whore of Babylon. She represents religion. And so while we are doing our works and tromping all over God's words, we are this beast that was meant to do this. We were put this direction to stomp on the word. That's the works. All right. So the way this is that of those kingdoms, these are the kingdoms. These are not a timeline in our world where we have one kingdom first, the second kingdom second, third and fourth. These are our worlds. This is the world. And so, and we're talking about traveling. We're talking about changing our mind. We're talking about the we're trying to go from one side of thinking to another way of thinking. So what this Bible does is it takes you from thinking physically and about the physical till that one day that it's the spiritual side that we're supposed to look at. This is God or Jesus's argument in the last days of his life, was that you guys are following Abraham. You're following the Father. He said that's not, and we have to look at this. The idea is the Father represents the surface of the Bible. And when you hear someone say this about this or about the law, and Jesus could look at them and say, you're not doing the law. Do you know why? Because you would not have a religion in you anymore. You got your legs broken. All right. So this is how it works. Is the kingdom that we're going to go through. We're coming from the West, our intellect. We're going through our emotions, which is the North, and it's got to have our body intact, which is the South, and we come over to the East, the point of the rising sun, and that's the place where we want to go, and this is the nice place. But that, while we're in half-brain mode, that side's gone. There is nothing there. So the only three that go up when you go down in meditation is your spiritual sense, which is the beast, the second beast, also the first beast, which is your body. All right. So these two guys get their things whacked. Those are your two witnesses. All right. Plus, you got the Jesus in the middle. He's the one that's coming up to tell on you. All right. He's got all the secrets. Okay. And so Jesus can't be outside of your body. He has to be in you. He has to know what you've been doing so he can give a proper account of things when you go under. He's supposed to go and judge you. It's the Father has given it up to the Son to judge him. So with this businesses comes this cracking of the body. All right. So the first kingdom is our head, where it's gold. It's gold. This is where God is kept. This is where the gold is at. It's right here in the head. Golgotha. Where our power comes from, or is our silver part, which is going to be our arms and our chest. This is representing the Kundalini, and the power is in his hand, in his right hand. You hear that all over the place. And so the third kingdom, which is what controls us, is this middle kingdom down here, which is from our stomach and our thighs. This is what controls us. That's what got us in this position in the first place. Is we've taken the lower side of us. They call it South, living in the South. And the woman that comes and makes this is the queen of the South. This is religion. All right. She makes a deal with the South, the North one from the North. Says, come on, baby, this is what we're going to do. We got to have a substitute till the real one comes about. And so this winds up being the fourth kingdom, which becomes your legs, which are looked at as being made out of iron and clay. And these two don't mix. So they're made in a way that you can break them, and then the potter recasts them into something new. And so that fourth kingdom, those legs, have to go. And that's how you can tell if someone has made it over to the other side or not, because they totally rebuke the idea of the Bible. They no longer can do their works after they've been to the Sabbath. Once they've observed the Sabbath day in their own life, they will never, never follow religion ever again. It has been wiped out of their system. That's what that means. That's what it means. And when it says, you'll never go back, God puts a plump in your head and says, this is my kingdom now. I'm so proud. And so, and just to go along with it, so it's not a control or coup or takeover, because you asked for this. You sent your child up to do what his master asked him to do. So your servant is only doing your bidding. He who sent me, and I've got to continue with what it is. And so he becomes this is why we do this. This is how we do it. And and so a part of when one of your other questions was about the temples. Of course, the temples on our earth here, not one place on this earth is a place where God dwells. But you can definitely go and find the stories in these places, because it's about being religious first. We have to go through this religious part of us. This is the filter. I wouldn't be allowed in here unless I was really, up to my neck in the church and loving God and doing his bidding, doing what he asked me to do, following Father, But it's only been like about 4 years, maybe at the most, that I was, when the preacher was still alive, that I said, something's wrong. Seems as like every prayer and everything we do is just not getting where it's supposed to go. And he's like, well, where do you think it's going? I think it's going right into the hands of Lucifer. I really do. And he laughed at me. I've told you the stories before, but I know something's really up. And so, I was embarked on this journey way back then. And, I was still very quite sure that, religion winds up being, what does us in. Because, once we're finished with those works, or we can't get it, it makes people kill themselves and all these things, and it just takes it out of you. And as these stories go, and I always use I use the Christopher story all the time. You guys are going to get tired of it. But it's one of the most perfect of the stories whereas in his four, he went from working for the man on the west to working with the devil in the the north, and then doing all this work and trying to get. He said, "Oh, I'm going to go find this child. I'm going to go find child Jesus and serve him. He's the strongest in the world." But even when he gets to that little place, that sixth chakra, he falls down just dead tired after the walk and the run or whatever he was doing during this time. That was the works. And then when he gets there, he finds, what? I'm still not there yet because he's strong. He's strong. He stands up. He wants to keep going. I'm ready, baby. I want to do it now. So he has all this energy and he's really strong. And he says, you know what? I got another job for you to do, and you can do this ferrying. And so during this next eon and eons and eons, he's ferrying people back and forth until he slips. That little bit of slip freaked him out. He's never felt scared before. He doesn't even know what that feels like. I'm going to put that away. Ooh. Well, it took that. You have to be run down to the last end. You have to say, oh my God, I need you. I can't take it anymore. This is this is your mouth. I've given up. I've had enough. I can't take it anymore. This is what it means to be meek. I give in to you, God. I give in to you. You are the boss. I need you. And then it happens. And the first thing he takes away from you is religion. The very first thing. That's how you know. All right? That's how you know. I'll talk with you later. I love you. All right. I'll see you soon.